All right, so we got the Summons of Shadows. It's horrifying. Warhammer 40K loads videos from Weshammer. Other than that, make sure you guys follow my Twitter down below. Let's get right to it. Let's go, man.
In the grim darkness of the 41st
Weshammer,
millennium,
bye-bye.
mankind is besieged on all sides by aliens, heretics, mutants, and far worse, eldritch entities beyond human comprehension and abominations that hunger for the flesh of men. The galaxy is certainly a dangerous place, but the Emperor's faithful, through his divine servants and many military factions, are at least afforded a certain degree of safety and the promise that the Emperor protects. However, there are planets that exist in the far-flung reaches of the Imperium, bereft of the luxury of protection, forgotten sectors and abandoned systems where the Emperor's light has grown dim, backwater worlds whose inhabitants are all too often forced to face the terror of the grimdark future completely alone. The Summons of Shadows was a short story written by David Annandale and included in the Warhammer horror anthology Invocations, released in 2019. This is but one of the spine-chilling entries in this anthology, so if you enjoy these scary stories, I implore you to support the original release and help keep the Warhammer horror line alive. I've included a link down in the description below if you'd like to pick up a copy of this book for yourself. In tonight's tale, we travel to a dying forge world, where scribe Hakob Meltinus will learn that there are more than just servitors and servo skulls lurking within the dark passages of the Administratum Palace complex. Something else is moving silently through the shadows, watching and judging his every move. This is a tale of grief and loss, of madness and monsters, of the consequences of broken promises, and mankind's utter helplessness in the face of an uncaring galaxy. So come with me, my friends. Gather round and listen well
I
as
kinda
we
like this
dive
vibe.
into another terrifying entry in the Grimdark Story Hour. But first, a quick shout out to this video's sponsor.
Hey, make sure you guys get your snacks. I got some
In
some
2024,
Cheetos.
we're all trying to live better, healthier lives, and I'm
It's our boy Weshammer, so we always listen. We always let his ads play. That's our boy Weshammer. Yeah, let's go.
no exception. Now, I'll freely admit,
Hey, make sure you guys get your snacks and stuff like that. It's gonna be like a little long video, you know, because I'm gonna stop it a few times, whatever, if I want to give my point in. But yeah, let's go.
that even though I love being a YouTuber, I can get a little obsessive with making content, and I've definitely been slacking in the health and wellness department. But thankfully, there's
Facts, bro. For like, if you're a content creator, bro, like, if you're like a content creator, like streamer, YouTuber, whatever, bro, it gets to a point to where like you kind of like lose sense of like, it's not like, you know, like you're dying or whatever, but like in a sense of like you kind of prioritize like YouTube or like streaming or whatever over a bunch of things such as like your health and stuff like that, which obviously, bro, like for me, like I'm way better now because, like, you know, I go outside a few times, whatever, if the weather's not too, like, you know, messed up. I work out. I try to move around a lot. This is why, like, I go outside, whatever. Which is definitely good because, bro, oh man, bro, like, I wasn't getting that much sleep. I was trying to, like, you know, get some videos up, whatever, bro. And make sure, yo, if you're a YouTuber or like streaming, whatever, bro, get some sleep, bro. I understand, like, we're on a grind, and you know, and there's like a whole mantra out here that's saying, oh, you know, I don't get any sleep. You know, I sleep for 2 hours a day, bro. I would rather sleep for what 7, 8, 9 hours a day and go 100% during the day than sleep for 2 hours and go 10%, bro. Even 5, bro. Some people, bro, they're zombies out here. They're trying to flex this whole, oh, I work 22 hours out of the 24. Yeah, and this is why you're sluggish. This is why you can barely think and barely talk. Bro, when you're tired, bro, you can barely function. Okay? Like, bro, go to sleep. It's not cool to not get any sleep. Okay? Stop this whole, I hate this whole mantra of, oh, I'm a 21-year-old millionaire who gets 1 hour of sleep a day. Like, no, why don't you just go to bed early and get a lot of sleep so you wake up early? You ever just think about that? You wake up early so you can have more hours doing what you want to do.
today's
Bro, I hate that so much. I swear to God, I hate that so much, bro. Get some sleep.
sponsor AG1, who I've been using for the last month or so, and I've seen a huge improvement in my focus, energy, and overall well-being. If you're unfamiliar with it, AG1 is a nutritional supplement that combines 75 vitamins, minerals, and whole food sourced ingredients into an easy-to-drink powder. Not only do they only use the highest quality ingredients they can find, but AG1 is also NSF certified for sport. It aids in digestion by supporting a healthy gut microbiome, as well as supporting things like healthy aging, boosted energy levels, healthier, brighter skin, improved focus, concentration, mental clarity, and so much more. I love that AG1 manages to pack such a high level of quality and nutrient density into an affordably priced product. It's a huge relief knowing that I'm getting comprehensive nutrition that supports my...
Hey, no lie, AG1 did not sponsor me or whatever. I might have to get this, yo. Cause I've been like purchasing like I got like some B12 vitamins coming through like next week. And I've been taking like vitamin C, like supplements and stuff like that. I've been taking B12, and all those things are way better than, you know, energy drinks. And sometimes I'm not perfect. I just had a Red Bull today, right? But I'm gonna keep it at like 1,000. Having like B12 vitamins or just B vitamins in general are like good for like your energy and stuff like that. So if you can replace like the energy drinks and all that other stuff with like actual vitamins and stuff like that, you know, because they're good for you.
Easy lifestyle. I'm also wicked impressed by just how much research and testing goes into it. AG1 is backed by multiple research studies wherein 97% of participants felt more energy after 30 days. Click on my link in the description of this video or scan the QR code here on screen to get a 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D3 plus K2 and 5 AG1 travel packs for free with your first subscription. Big thanks to AG1 for sponsoring this video.
Our story begins within the bowels of the Administratum Palace complex on the dying forge world of Fumus. Here, in one of the labyrinthian facility's many transcription chambers, sat Hakob Maltinus and 12 other scribes. It was the scribes' job to shift through the towering stacks of records, manuscript summaries, correspondence from a bureaucratic minutia. No matter how much work they do, no matter how many long nights they spend cataloging pointless records, their efforts never seem to make a dent in the mountainous piles of parchment. The transcription chamber itself was drab and gloomy, illuminated by a series of tall candelabras and a single dull lumen globe that sat in the center of the long table before them. The light they cast was flickering and just barely strong enough to read by. The air stank of acrid smoke, burning animal tallow, and...
Bro, he describing like the average workplace at Amazon. Hey, that sounds like Amazon to me. I'm gonna be honest with you. Listen, bro, I used to work at like Wendy's like a few years ago. Bro, oh my goodness. I couldn't stand that damn job. I couldn't stand it, bro. I could not stand, bro. It smelled crazy in there, bro. It smelled like burger beef and just, bro, it smelled like burger beef, sweat, and negativity. It was nasty in there, bro. Oh my goodness.
Dusty parchment. Overhead could be seen a series of hovering servo skulls that both monitored the scribes for faltering productivity and endlessly moved bundles of documents to and fro. Records the skulls deemed important based upon scrupulous criteria known only to them would be archived and preserved. Those that failed to impress them were moved to bins marked for incineration. Hakob reached forward and plucked a report from a nearby stack. The record was 50 years old and detailed the notable decline in vermin populations within the underhive after AgriWorld shipments had slowed to a crawl and the dregs within had turned to eating rats in order to survive.
What the hell? Oh no. Hey, I'm gonna keep it honest with you. Man, I'd rather eat grass. I'd rather eat grass, bro. I'd rather become a cow up there, bro. There's no shot. No, bro, not a rat.
He grabbed another, this one also multiple decades out of date. It documented the sale of mundane goods between two merchants that Hakob speculated were almost surely dead by now.
Bro, I'll be a merchant, bro. I tell you all the time, bro. If I was a Warhammer, bro, I would definitely be a merchant.
He knew that they didn't have much time left here. The Imperium was under siege, and the great furnaces of Fumus had long since burned out. Every year that went by, more and more of the planet's important personnel had been ferried off-world and assigned to new posts somewhere else within the Imperium. Soon, it would be completely abandoned. To add even further insult to the drudgery of Hakob's existence, he knew that no one would ever read any of these reports. The Imperium didn't care about this world, its history, or any of those left behind to shift through its carcass for something of value. But to the Administratum, none of that mattered. All records, no matter how trivial, could not be ignored. All must be cataloged. No matter how much he hated this place and the work that he was forced to do, Hakob was thankful for something to keep him distracted. You see, tonight wasn't just an ordinary night for him. It was one that marked a dual anniversary of one of the happiest moments in his life, and also the saddest. This was both the 30-year anniversary of the sacred union between he and his wife Velya, but also, in a cruel twist of fate, the 20-year anniversary of the day she and their twin boys, Balin and Euless, were taken away from him by the Imperial war machine.
Wait a minute. What? So wait a minute. 30 years ago, him and a girl, they got together. And then 20 years ago on the same day, her and the boys got taken away. So on their 10th anniversary, wow. Wow. On the 10th anniversary, the boys and the girl got taken away. Swiper, no, Swiper, give me that. Taken away. Wow.
The twins had been barely 10 years old. They should have been considered too young to fight, but Fumus's population had been steadily dwindling for many decades. So when the tithes came for them, Velya and the children were conscripted into service. Hakob had never considered himself a brave man, but on that day, he would have given anything and faced any horror to go with them. But he was weak, his body plagued by arthritis and cursed with a set of lungs and a heart that never properly developed in the womb.
He was an unk, man. He was an unk. He couldn't do it. He physically couldn't do it, bro. He was an unk. He was the average 30-year-old NBA player. They can't do it no more. GG's. It's over. Wowzers. Dang, that's sad. I'm going to be honest with you. That's actually sad. No jokes or whatever. That's actually pretty sad. I'm going to be honest with you.
Leaving him frequently short of breath and unfit for combat. Despite this, all were expected to serve, and Hakob's talents were determined best fulfilled as an administratum scribe.
Real quick, I don't want to ruin like the vibe and the mood. Whoever did this, whoever put extra season on this, man, I hope you get like an extra like $50 on your check, bro, or extra 100, bro.
And that he should be patient in his sacrifice. Of course he was proud of them, for what greater honor was there than to fight in protection of the Imperium? But even still, it hadn't kept him from mourning their absence. Every day of every year. He found himself momentarily distracted, overwhelmed by that deep and familiar sense of melancholy that he felt whenever he thought of his family. And it was in that moment that he heard something he hadn't heard in many years. A voice, just barely a whisper in his ear, that turned his blood to ice.
Y'all know who that is?
Turned around and squinted against the chamber's gloom. There before him was a shadow, a darkened silhouette of a woman that was eerily motionless despite the flickering candlelight that caused all other shadows to writhe against the walls. Although female in appearance and undeniably humanoid, there was something wrong about it. The shade was strangely angular, with
Duh! Of course there was something wrong with her. Of course there was something wrong with her. Of course. What are you talking about? Bro, she built like Kevin Durant. You see how tall she is? Kareem Abdul-Jabbar? What are we talking about?
Portions that were off just ever so slightly to instill a deep sense of unease. There was nothing about it that would cause Hakob to recognize this thing as his wife, but he knew in his heart that it was her, just like how that voice in his ear had been unmistakable, even if it had been cold and distant, like the wind over fresh snow. He twisted around so violently in his seat that he knocked over a stack of parchment off of the table, drawing disapproving glares from the other scribes. He quickly looked down to make sure the damage was minimal, but when he looked back up, the shadow was gone. There was nobody there.
What troubles you, Hakob?
asked Artur Tizian, one of his fellow scribes.
It's nothing,
Maltinus said.
An archival reference I forgot to check.
He stood and walked slowly away from the table, heading in the direction the shadow seemed to have come from.
It wasn't her. She can't have been here.
He made his way through the chamber, passing towering storage
See, that's where you messed up. I promise you. Yo. I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. Whenever it comes down to ghosts and stuff like that, bro, I am oblivious to all that, bro. I'm not chasing you. I'm not. Yo, if you scream in my ear, if you whisper in my ear, over here, bro, I'm turning over there, bro. I'm not turning towards the ghost, bro. I'm not chasing no ghost, bro. I'm not about to leave my workspace. I'm not about to leave my seat just to go chase a ghost and just have like a candle in my hand and trying to figure out who this is. I'm gonna be honest with you, yo, babes. If you really wanna talk to me, yo, talk to me when I get home, not at the workplace, bro. I'm here for one thing and one thing only. That moolah, that check. That's all I'm here for. I'm not here for nothing else. I'm not chasing you, bro. I don't get paid to chase you. I get paid to do what I got to do.
Archives, each over 15 feet tall, with rail-mounted ladders to give access to their drawers. Servitors climbed all over them, retrieving and replacing documents. The chamber he was in was so vast that the grinding sound of moving ladders and the slamming of drawers was swallowed by the space and reduced to a sound akin to distant falling pebbles in a dark, fathomless pool. A short distance in, he crossed paths with Avelia Revican, who nodded in greeting. Marking your day.
Who is this? Yeah, she got me on a ringtone. Are you talking about the pink phone? Yo, she's really pretty. She's cute, to be honest with you. It's obvious that she been playing us. Wowzers. Yo, forget nodding and like, you know, and hey, I really would have set the candle down, bro. I would have forgot about that girl. Yo, that ghost girl, yo, respectfully. Yo, move on, bro. I'm sorry, bro. It's been like 10, 20 years. I got to move on. Bro, I would have set my candle down. Oh, what's up? So, babe, what's up with you? How you doing? What you up to? Oh, nothing, my lord. Oh, my bad. Oh, nothing, my highness. Oh, my bad. Sorry, y'all. Oh, nothing, my king. I'm just chilling out. You know, I'm just, you know, stacking up these books real quick. I would have been like, oh, okay. So do you mind if I would like? So do you mind me fetch ya digits? I would have spoke the native language and everything, bro. I would have. Do you mind me fetch ya digits? She would have 9, 3, 4, bro. She would have wrote it down in like her little English accent, bro. I would have went home, bro. I would have had one of those phones. I would have. Was 3, 4, 1. I would have been turning it. I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. I would have definitely. Hey. I would have married her the next week, bro. No prenup.
With thanks and contemplation, Maltinus, she asked. Avelia had been assigned to the administratum via the tithe at the same time that Hakob had. Just like he, she too had seen her family conscripted into the Imperium's armed forces.
Oh, we're the same story, babes. It's obvious that she been playing us. Bro, we're the same story.
And thus the two of them had formed a bond through shared pride and grief. At this point, she was the closest thing he had to what someone would consider a friend in this dreadful place.
Well, I am. I trust you are too.
Maltinus asked, distracted, looking past her. My thoughts are with Velia and your sons. But the Emperor protects, brother.
The Emperor protects.
Brother? If I was your boyfriend, never let you go. Man, brother, nah, we ain't doing that. Baby, you Hulk Hogan? Because there ain't no brother around here. I promise you. Brother. There is none of that around here. Forget brother. Nah, we're not. Nah. I'm not calling you sister. No. I'm calling you wife. Wifey, babes. Bro, I'm seriously, bro. Your name not going to be sister in my contacts. It's going to be fine-ish. It's gonna be come through. It's gonna be like, it's gonna have like the peach emoji, and it's gonna have like the phone, like booty call. It's gonna have something. Like it's not gonna be brother, no, or it's not gonna be sister. No. Bro, you ain't Hulk Hogan. You are not Hulk Hogan. Yo, respectfully, you are not Hulk Hogan.
He answered, smiling weakly, and moved on. The Emperor protects. It was a phrase he had heard many times repeated throughout his life, one that brought comfort to billions in the dark times the Imperium was now going through. The hope that was embedded in that promise kept Hakob's spirit alive, even if he had no way of knowing where his family was or what they were being forced to do or even what horrifying monstrosity they would have to face. He knew in his soul that the God Emperor was watching over them, that he would protect them and one day guide them all back together. He hadn't heard from them in 20 years, but he had to believe in this dream. It was the only thing continuing to give his existence meaning. Without the Emperor's promise, he might as well have just been another lobotomized servitor.
What am I even doing? There was no one there. I'm just imagining things.
No sooner had he uttered those words than he saw movement out of the corner of his right eye. Something was at the far end of one of the paths. He kept his head still, but shifted his gaze in its direction. There was another shadow, one much smaller than the last. Though it had no eyes or face to speak of, he could tell it was watching him. He turned the rest of the way, but as he did, the shade vanished. Once again, there was nobody there.
Bro, why they playing these games with him, bro? Man, leave this old dude alone, bro. Why they playing these games with him, bro? Playing like all types of peekaboo and hide and seek and stuff. Man, if you gonna speak, bro, step up to him or something. Like, bro, I'm tired of these games.
But he knew that wasn't true. He had seen it. There was no doubt in his mind. It had been one of his twin boys. But then, to his horror, he realized he didn't know which one it had been. With a piercing shame, Balin and Ulis had blurred in his memory into a single being. If he saw them today, he knew he wouldn't be able to tell them apart. Further, he realized if that somehow happened, if they suddenly appeared before him, they would both be men in their early 30s. But there was no mistaking it. That shadow had been cast by a child. He was seeing things. He was hearing things. He'd allowed his grief to cloud his mind, and now he was seeing specters and ghosts, ones conjured from old, half-forgotten memories that didn't even have the decency to be the proper age. With a sigh, he realized he had been away from his post for too long. He needed to head back, lest one of the servo skulls become agitated by his absence and report him to the overseer.
No more bathroom breaks for you.
Even so, after a quick glance around, he knew he wouldn't be able to shake this if he didn't at least make some small attempt at investigating to clear his troubled thoughts. He walked down the aisle and approached where he had seen the child's shadow. One of the drawers near the bottom of the archive unit had been left open. He looked inside and saw a large stack of unsorted documents, a labor that he realized would be waiting for him another day, or perhaps another year. He reached down and picked up the top sheet of vellum. It was an accident report, originating from a place Hakob had never heard of called Volgast. The troop transport, the Exaltation of Faith, had had sealants on the ship's plasma reactor documented as being faulty and fractured. The supervising tech priest had ordered them to be replaced. Yet, according to the accident report, there had been a transcription error, and the sealants had, instead of being registered as in need of replacement, were registered as having already been replaced. This resulted in the ship leaving port with the flaw unattended to. She had survived as long as her first warp jump, but when she attempted to translate back into real space, there had been a rupture in the plasma engines, causing a white-hot inferno to race through the ship's decks, incinerating all aboard. He scanned his eyes across the document until he reached the bottom and froze. There was the incident report's date, indicating that this tragic accident had occurred only a few weeks shy of 20 years ago. Hakob felt a chill run up his spine and a foreboding sense of dread looming over his shoulders. He flipped through the document until he found a long column of confirmed casualties. There, listed amongst the dead.
Damn. Damn.
Were the names Velia Maltinus, Balin Maltinus, and Ulis Maltinus.
Everybody.
His mouth gaped, his throat closed in grief, and the scream that shook his body emerged only as a strangled hiss. They had died 20 years ago, and their deaths had meant nothing. They had not perished as heroes fighting in the name of the Imperium. They were victims of a stupid mistake, their tragedy bearing no more importance than any—
I would have crashed out. I can't lie to you. I would have crashed out. I don't care about any of those little stupid skull things. I don't care, bro. I would have crashed out.
Any of the other documents he spent his night shifting through. It was a single loss amongst many, an incident barely worth noting. The names clouded before him as he felt his eyes welling up with tears. He slumped back against the archive unit. The parchment crumbled in his trembling, clawed hands.
Scribe Mountainous, you are damaging an Imperial document.
Hakob.
Hey, I'm gonna be yo, Miss Ugly. I'm gonna keep it real with you. I'm crashing out. Bro, I would have thrown, bro. Come on, bro. I would have ripped the drawer out and threw it at her. Yo, respectfully, I don't care who you are. I think she would have pissed me off. Respectfully, I think she would have definitely pissed me off. I can't lie to you. I would have crashed out. Yeah.
Jerked upright, his breath hitching. Overseer Terracin stood at the end of the aisle. She was a stern and unflinching woman, foreboding and pitiless as iron.
I was...
Hakob stammered, barely able to think.
Return to your post at once.
Oh, hell nah.
Overseer.
Everything in Hakob's world began to
nah.
blur. He had no conscious memory of returning to his labor, yet he must have, as he found himself once again sorting through documents. It was as if his body was on autopilot, for there was no room in his mind for anything other than anguish, an overwhelming sense of meaninglessness, and rage. He felt rage at a galaxy that would reduce every dream to ash, rage at the lie he had lived for 20 years.
He's probably gonna be mad at the Emperor too.
And the lie that everyone in his life mindlessly repeated. Those empty, hollow words. The Emperor protects. The Emperor protects.
Yeah. I knew that. I saw that coming from a mile away though. I knew he was gonna be mad at the Emperor. But like, you know what, bro? I understand though. I understand why he's angry. I mean, I feel like we all can. So, man, that. Again, I look at that towards like real life, and a lot of people would look at God as like the reasoning for bad things happening in their life and stuff like that. It's such like a hard, because I understand. I actually my grandmother passed away last year in 2020. No, she passed away in 2023. And I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I wasn't really mad at God, but I'm like, you know what, man? She was an older lady, man, and it was just her time. It was her time, you know. And the thing is, man, one thing that you guys have to realize is, and I understand, bro, we're all humans, bro. We're not always, up and running about things that happen in our life, whatever. And when things like death or whatever happen in our family, we tend to always look at God and be like, yo, God, why me? Like, why me? Like, why did this have to happen to me? Why did somebody close to me have to go and stuff like that? And a lot of people blame God for that. But in reality, man, you have to understand something bro, and I want to put this in the most respectful way possible. This is what helps me understand this, man. Everybody is gonna die. Whether you like it or not, you're never gonna live forever. You're not, bro. Your mama, she's not gonna live forever. Your daddy's not gonna live forever. Nobody's gonna live forever, bro. And at the end of the day, once you accept that, you have to first accept that. Because if you don't accept that, you cannot move on to this. You can't blame. I mean, well, people, man, I mean, they blame God for everything, man. And I'm like, man, a lot of things that you guys blame God for, bro, are things that are just natural, bro. No one's gonna live forever, bro. And when it comes, and let me say this: if one of your family members or whatever was taken away from you, from like a, I don't know, let's say for example, this is an example, by the way, like God forbid nothing happens to none of your families or whatever, but let's say like a drunk driver or like a mass shooter or whatever, was to do something. Man, it's unfortunate. It's really unfortunate. It's horrible, man. It's horrible that happened to you, but I'm never gonna. If that happened to me, man, and God forbid, bro, I would never blame God for that. You know why? Because at the end of the day, bro, we all make decisions, and I can never sit here and blame God for that. I have to blame the person that did it. So if you're gonna hate somebody, hate the person who actually did it. You don't hate God for that, because I'm pretty sure God didn't put in that dude's head, "Hey, kill these people." I'm pretty sure he didn't do that. Nah, I'm pretty sure he didn't do that. Because guess what, bro? We all make our decisions. We all have free will. We all wake up and do what we want to do, or go after this and go after that. We all have free will. And for somebody to wake up and try to do and cause harm onto people, that's horrible. I understand that. That's horrible. But that was their decision, and you have to blame them. That's how I look at it. You get what I'm saying? And I know some people, they might not understand it or get it, and they still might blame God for that, which is, you know what, man, I understand that. I'm not going to sit here and act like, you know, I was always, you know, looking at God, you know, I'm not saying that like, I was always like, just, oh, God's the greatest, God's amazing, God's this, whatever. Bro, I had my times where I was mad at God. Of course, bro. I'm human like everybody else. I had my times where things happened or whatever, and I was frustrated and I said some things or whatever to God, bro. Bro, I understand, bro. I'm human. I'm just like y'all. I get mad, whatever, right? But now, as I get a little older, I understand. I'm like, you know what, man? I can't blame him for that at all, you know, because things happen. I'm sorry this turned into like some random, like real life, you know, threat. Not threat. Sorry, rant. But like I kind of wanted to like resonate towards this dude's like, you know, story right here, you know, on how I knew he was gonna get mad at the emperor, because, you know, obviously in Warhammer they always says like, you know, praise to the emperor or whatever, he got everything under control and stuff like that. I just wanted to like resonate that rant or whatever to this guy right here.
No, he does not.
The refrain tormented him throughout the drudgery of the day and pursued him still after nightfall, as he made the long walk through the dark and bitter cold towards his quarters.
I understand.
The streets here were narrow, squeezed between high, decaying hab towers. The pavement and the facades were grimy from the soot and smoke that choked the air. Filthy gray smog rolled through the alleys, and Hakob could often not see more than a few yards ahead. Snow fell in thick, sodden flakes that left black smears where they landed on his cheeks and slid down like thick tears. He had none left of his own. The grief was too big, and so was the hate. As this Forge World's resources continued to dwindle, so too did its population. At this point, the sector he lived in was almost completely deserted. Entire hab blocks now stood abandoned, their windows as broken and dark as the blind sockets of skulls. Even within his own building, no more than 1/10 of the units were occupied, and he was the only inhabitant on the 6th floor. Because of this, he was used to being by himself in the streets on his journey home. But on this night, as he walked the path he had done so many times over the years, he realized that he wasn't alone. He could hear the sounds of footsteps coming from his left and his right, echoing along beside him. He turned, and though half hidden by the fog, about a block away on both sides, he could see the shadow of one of his twins. They stopped moving when he did, and when he strained to look at them, they disappeared, their silhouette carried off by soot and snow. But when he turned away and resumed walking, the footsteps returned. The twins kept pace with him, always lurking at the edge of his vision, always watching him.
They're just playing games at this point.
They're not really there. They're just what I want to see.
This conviction did nothing to ease his growing fear, nor his suffocating grief. It merely highlighted that the featureless shadows were wrought from his fading memories and his inability to distinguish the identity of his own children. Although he couldn't see her, he knew his wife was here too, always behind him, always gone whenever he turned to look. All he could see was what was in front of him, the long shadow she cast that blanketed over him in silent, oppressive judgment.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. But it's been so long that I'll remember you though. Oh, won't you let me see you?
He said to the ghost of his wife. To see her again, to see all of them one more time, was all that had kept him going for the last 20 years. And now he knew that would never happen. There was nothing to support his profound loneliness. An endless void of mourning opened before him. He collapsed to his knees, unable to go on.
One more time.
He cried out into the empty night.
I'd give anything to see you. All of you. One last time.
It was not the Emperor.
Yo, Weshammer's in his bag. Yo. Yo, Weshammer's in his bag right now. Hey, yo. That man Wes is in his
He
bag.
prayed to, as the pain of his betrayal and broken promise was far too great. Even still, the perversity of his loved one's death and the strange chance discovery of that report was too strong for him to believe that there was no controlling hand at work. It had been no coincidence. Something had guided him towards the truth. There was a will here, an omnipotent consciousness at work, a shaper of fate. Though the words escaped his lips as no more than a cracked whisper, the impact they had amidst the still night air felt strong enough to carve deep furrows through the rockcrete of the abandoned hab block.
Grant me this boon.
He prayed to that shaper.
Let me see them one more time.
The moment he formulated the prayer, the shadows vanished, and a heavy silence fell over the surrounding area. He was once again completely alone, without even the figments conjured by his grieving mind for company. He sat there, listening to the silence for several minutes, before he realized how foolish he was being. He was about to get up and continue on to his hab block when he heard something off in the distance. A heavy, dragging tread that broke the silence. He slowly turned around and stared into the swirling dark of the night as the noise drew closer and closer. Whatever it was big and clumsy. In one moment, it sounded like it stood on 2 feet and was limping, dragging an injured leg across the rockcrete, whereas at other times, it sounded fast and disorganized, a rapid pattern echoing off the walls between steps. The thing in the darkness screamed.
Oh, am I good? Yo, am I good? Hello? Am I good? Am I lagging a little bit? Tell me if I'm good or not, y'all. Bro, is this Venom? Yo, is this dude jumping off the walls and like, bro, is he like hopscotching? Is he skipping like AJ Lee from WWE? Yo, what's going on? Brother, yo, who is this? And why they keep playing games with him? Oh my goodness.
Bellowed in both pain and anger and sounded like a woman or some horrible abomination attempting to mimic a woman. He didn't stick around to find out. He leapt to his feet and ran. He knew that whatever this thing was, he must not see it.
Facts.
He ran faster than he had ever done before, even in his youth.
It's that adrenaline. Yep, that adrenaline. That adrenaline, bro, hit him. That adrenaline hit him crazy. He said that he ran faster, bro. He said that he ran faster than his youth. Bro, he's hitting top speeds. Bro, Cheetah, 72 miles per hour, bro. That adrenaline, it kicks different.
His heart hammered out a painful, irregular beat, and his faulty lungs rasped wetly with the effort of drawing breath. He was running on pure adrenaline.
Yep.
But despite how fast he was moving, he could hear the heavy, lumbering footfalls and disjointed, inhuman screaming drawing closer and closer. He reached the rusty, flaking entrance of his hab block, threw open the door to the stairwell, and blindly staggered up the 6 flights of stairs. Even before he reached the top, he could hear the thing below him beginning to climb. It thumped and slipped, slithered and prowled, each amalgamous movement echoing up after a cob. The scream came again, but this time it was changing. It was more of a wail, a choking, gargling growl of both anguish and hatred, like a half-formed throat trying desperately to form human words and failing utterly. He threw open the door to his floor and stumbled down the dark hall towards his apartment, his hands pressed firmly against his ears, desperate to block out the thing's horrible cries. The lumen strips overhead barely functioned. They flickered and pulsed a sickly gray light that struggled and failed to push back the darkness. He reached his door and with trembling hands fumbled with his keys as he heard the door to the stairwell at the end of the hall begin to creak open.
Oh no.
He was sobbing now as he finally managed to slam the correct key into the plasteel door and unlock it. He threw himself inside, shut the door behind him, and locked it again. Gasping for breath, Hakob slowly backed away from the entryway and listened intently for the sounds of movement on the other side. The thing was in the hallway now, shambling ever closer towards him. He heard a hand, or what he assumed to be a hand, scraping on the other side of the door before it began to fumble with the handle. He froze like prey in the presence of a hungry predator. There was a long moment of silence, and just as he dared to let himself hope that the thing had moved on, there was a massive booming crash as the door flew open, knocked completely off its...
Did that thing just one-tap the door? Here comes the boom! Bro, did that thing just one-tap the door?
hinges as if struck with inhuman strength. He stared through the entryway into the gaping void of darkness beyond. And out of the abyss stepped the horror, and for the first time, he got a good look at his pursuer. His wish had been granted. The changer of ways who watched over those abandoned by the Emperor had answered his prayers. There before him was his family. It was the one last look at them he had asked for. His wife and children had returned to.
Wow. So since the dude abandoned like the Emperor or whatever. So since the dude was like, you know what, man, the Emperor, he fake. I'm gonna stop believing in him. The other dude, because listen, when you're not, I don't want to be that guy, but you know, if God don't got you, somebody else gonna have you. Yeah, bro. If God don't got you, the other dude got you. Yeah. So what I'm guessing is the other dude was like, oh, you want to see your family? You want to make the prayer? You want to see your fam? Okay, don't worry. I got you, yo. Done. I got you. Yo.
Him, but they had come back wrong, fused into a single being. Velia staggered forward, her steps heavy with the weight of her sons melded with her torso. Their legs scrabbled for purchase on the floor, sometimes finding it, sometimes not. 3 pairs of arms stretched out, hands clawing to reach Hakob. The heads of the boys melted into Velia's lower jaw, and their mouths had become one terrible, distorted maw. The flesh of the monster was burned black. Crisp pieces of it broke off at Hakob's feet. The maw opened wide, and at last the scream became words.
You did this!
Fuck out of here. What are you doing? I ain't do nothing. I ain't do nothing. You did this. Man. Nigga, please. I ain't do. Man. What are you talking about, man? Man, come on, bro. Come on. Hey, bro. You're stretching my feathers right now, yo. I did what? What did I do? What, yo, what did I do? You did that. I did what? I do nothing. Me know nothing. Me do nothing. Yeah, I do nothing. I know nothing. I did nothing, buddy.
Hakob's family screamed, 6 eyes fixed upon him, hating him and his wish that had brought them back to this agony. And then they were upon him, dragging him into the mass. His screams were muffled quickly in the nightmare of reunion.
Let it all work out. Shout out to weshammer, man, for this banger. Wow, bro. And he does a good job with it, like to the point to where I imagine it all. That's crazy. Wowzers. That was actually pretty cool, man. Comment down below what you guys think about this. Make sure you guys go check out weshammer. And if you guys are not subscribed to this channel, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel right now, brother. We upload every single day. Also, I have a Twitch down below. Make sure you guys go follow my Twitch. I think I'm really close to 100 followers on Twitch. I can't wait to stream so I can bro, destroy you guys in video games and stuff like that. I really can't wait. Other than that, man, see you guys over here. Peace out.